So Joe Biden just dropped out of the race, right? And we're pretty much all thinking it's gonna be Kamala. Now, when I saw that he dropped out, I did say work out loud, very loudly, very loudly. I said work. This is how you cook. Now we are cooking with fish grease and oils. You know what I mean? Now we got something shaking, something moving. Like I was gonna be lethargically drawing myself to the polls, or maybe like the absentee ballot because um, I'm going to school in a different state than the one that I live in right now. Um, which you may or may not be able to tell. But yeah, but now, there's something to live for a little bit, low key. There's something to be a little bit excited for, there's a little bit of a chance, and I don't have to vote for that man anymore. Now here's the situation. Here's the tea. Like let's have an honest conversation, people of the left. Like I understand, like you have principles and you have values. To a certain extent, I have principles and values as well. Kamala, is she a cop? Yeah. Do we love cops? No, I don't. I don't live for the police. Like that's never been me. That's never been my experience. Like, is she like literally Mother Teresa? Do we even like Mother Teresa? Didn't we cancel Mother Teresa? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm going to be saying that she's a great person. And it's not like I've forgotten the reasons why she's not very well liked, okay? She's still, very much a part of I remember she got on the debate floor and said, oh, we're not going to get rid of fracking. We're not getting rid. Who said we were ever going to get rid of fracking? We love to frack. And it's like, okay, all right. But here's my problem. What happened to make believe and pretend? Girl, listen, we're just gonna have to be like this, okay? It's fine. You're okay. Like, what happened to make believe and pretend? You know what I mean? Like, why can't we do our little memes, have our little coconut tree, whatever, keys, you know what I mean? And then, come election day, fingers knocking on the wood, it goes the way that I personally want to, and that I think would just be for the absolute best of all parties involved. Oh my God, just exposed scum, and then we can get back on our anti-establishment grind. You know what I mean? Like, Can't we do a little bit of pretending, and then in November we can complain as much as we want? And we can keep the pressure up so that we actually get the things that we want? Like, can't these two truths be the same at once? I feel like, I'm tired. Quite frankly, I'm tired. You know what? It's 11:59. America, we gotta turn something in. Okay? This project is worth too much of the grade. Alright? And me personally, and probably a lot of other people, are looking around at the other people who are supposedly in the group project, and they've done nothing. And I'm personally gonna put the pencil down. I'm gonna copy what's in the Google Doc into the canvas. I'm gonna press submit. I'm gonna see the confetti. I'm gonna watch that confetti explode across my screen, life gone from my eyes. I'm going to close my computer. I'm going to get into bed, and I'm gonna go to sleep. Will there be an email from the professor in the morning? Games, what was this? Yeah, okay, sure, probably. Maybe. Probably. Sure. At this point in time, there's very little I can do about that, and I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Let's turn something in. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna because oftentimes, like, I've looked at these situations, I've gone, if you put me in the room, If you made me head of PR, marketing strategy, whatever, yada, yada, etc., a lot of these problems that I'm seeing, because I'm an ideas person, you know what I mean? I have up here, mind of a mastermind, you know what I mean? I've got a lot of ideas. So I'm trying to figure out, we're kind of in a time crunch. It's 11:59. It's the final hour. We're in a time crunch right now, and we don't have a lot of time. So the problem is, let's talk about the elephant in the room. A woman of color, South Asian, black woman, that, like, a lot of America is just not gonna go for that. I've got uncles, not gonna go for that. But there's got to be some way to game the system and do some positioning in a way that we can really get some things going. I think, number one, I saw this on Twitter a couple of times, she should absolutely play into the Kamala, Kamala the cop, Harris, wheels in the bus go round and round, you know what I mean? She should absolutely be playing into that against convicted felon Trump, you know what I mean? Like, that is a way, that is a marketing. And then listen, that's how you get the police, that's how you get the law and order people going. Because how are you going to be law and order, law and order, law and order? Your president is a felon. He's a criminal. What happened to law and order? What happened to let's lower the crime rates? You know what I mean? I don't even know what that man's crimes was. I'm going to be so for real with you. Call me a bad American if you want. Tired of the man. Tired of Donald. Sick and tired of it. I didn't look into it when he was getting pressed charges. It didn't matter to me. They were going to send him to jail, to prison. I would have looked at him in jail and prison. I would have gone, that's funny. But I don't get too invested in that man anymore. Not when I don't have to. So I don't really know what he did. But I know he was convicted. I know there was a mugshot. So that should really be, well, listen, here's the other thing. We cannot be anti-Trump, anti-Trump, anti-Trump. I think that's as far anti-Trump as we should be, okay? We cannot, because we've seen, if we try to do character assassination against Trump, with this assassination attempt here, it's just not a good look, and it's not an effective strategy. That is so 2020. That was so 2020 in the past, and that's not really firing people up or fueling them in this day and age. It's really not. We need to talk about actual policies. So because what the Trump people, they have something to look forward to. They have a better make America great again. What was the slogan for the Biden administration? I don't even remember what the slogan. Why don't we have a memorable slogan? See, this is a problem. We need to come up with a memorable slogan. We need to come up with something to look forward to, and like, what's good that the Democrats do? Like, what do they help? Like, probably I don't know. I really don't know. So, like, what do the Democrats really stand for in this day and age? Let me look it up. I'm going to look up, what do the Democrats stand for? I'm going to look up the real life. Oh, wait, I have to ask an individual about something illegal really quickly. I love the text on my computer. And then next we're going to go to Democrat. The Democratic Party. Where's the official website? Democrats.org. Fighting for a better, fairer, oh my God, help defeat Trump. You type in Democrats, it's tired, it's played out, girl. It's tired and it's played out, girl. Do you notice that nobody's gaffing? Do you notice that nobody is living right now? Nobody moved. Nobody moved. You said, let's get Trump down. Nobody moved. Nobody moved. Because we don't believe you can do it. So give us something real to believe in. We are the Democratic Party. For a better, brighter, more equal future, rolling up our sleeves and organizing everywhere to build a better America for all. Okay, why don't we take, populism is more of a... But I don't know, like, why don't we really, like, inspire the people? Like, why don't we say, maybe, like, not make America great again, but something about, you are great, America. I love you, America. Because, we gotta be pro-America, because that's how people go to the polls and vote, We can't, in terms of electoral politics, be anti-America. I watched a documentary the other day, which my mom had been telling me to watch. And it was about, like, the Lowndes County, it's on Peacock, like, the Lowndes County Freedom Movement. Freedom Organization. Which I really think, like, reinvigorated my belief in the... I'm gonna look it up to see what movie you guys should watch. But the Lowndes County and the Road to Black Power, that sort of reinvigorated my belief in electoral politics, because they got organizing. They got people out there, and they got the people out there to stay there, number one, really work in the Lowndes County, really, like, make personal connections with people, really open up dialogues. They had education, they had classes, they were in the churches weekly having these really profound conversations about the movement, about the people, about culture, about a lot. They were engaging in conversations and creating community spaces. They were creating community in a way that people, and they were having actionable plans that everybody could see. These are plans that are not, they're actionable, concrete, and transparent in ways that people were able to believe in, to stand up and get behind. And it was in a way where it was clear that this was not for the self-interest of these outside parties. This was for the people of Lowndes County. This is the majority, like, I think something like 90% black people. Not one, like, at the time that the events of the documentary started, there was no black person, none, registered to vote, and naturally none are in positions of power. And we've got 90% black population. It wasn't making sense, and they did all this organizing together. And if it hadn't been for people literally throwing votes into the river, they would have had their full black ticket. And they did it right under and they struck hard and they struck fast. And I think, like, that, watching that, even though it didn't, they didn't get their full, black panel, it really reinvigorated my belief in electoral politics that, we gotta play the game. We gotta play the game. We haven't been doing the game. Nobody's picked up the instruction manual, because, we all go, it's beyond us, it's beyond us, it's beyond us. And I don't think the organizers are out here really encouraging people to make a personal investment because in this thing. Because, I don't remember anybody ever coming and trying to personally engage with my family, my community, and the elections that I've lived through. Couple, not a lot, but a couple, and really, why is that? So I really think, like, if we do some sort of galvanization of the American people, really get them fired, really get them excited about progress and making things better, moving towards the best possible America, I think that could be good. I think, like, it really has to be the antithesis to the whole Republican Trump thing, make America great again. We should see, like, okay, here's how America has been getting better this whole time. This is the beauty of progress. There is no way to go back. I think that sort of message, and of course, like, I'm not politics girl, whatever. That's not me. I'm not her. I'm not she. But you, political science, like, you literally went to school for this, so you can figure it out, something like that. But that's the general, that's, like, the mood board I'm giving to the Harris administration. Now, in terms of how to win over, elephant in the room, the sort of vote of the man, the white man. How is Harris gonna appeal to Hank? How is she gonna appeal to Hakeem? You know what I mean? So I was thinking, like, I had the thought, like, What if she went on one of these podcasts? You know, all these men, they love to listen to a podcast. What if she was the first presidential candidate on a pod? Like, what if she did go on to Joe Rogan? Like, why? Like, what if she did go on to these, you know, what? She needs to be everywhere. Take her everywhere. And really make her sort of like a likable one of the guys things. But here's the thing that I, and you know, saying a whole thing a lot about like women need to be in the homes or whatever, like I love men, like whatever, really stroke the ego. But I started thinking some more, and like these pick-me's, like I'm looking around and they're always alone. They never have a man. So is the strategy working? You know, one of the OG pick-me's, Dr. Meredith Grey, she looked at that man, she said, pick me, choose me, love me. And did he do any of the following? No. So I don't think that would be the strategy. And if she knows what's good for her, she's not going to do that. That was a bad idea I had. But I really do think, like, there's got to be some way to sort of engage with the man and not do it in a threatening. But the thing is, like, I just think it's the man's problem. But I also think they're kind of manipulatable, you know. I don't think it's that hard to manipulate a man, you know. But how would you, now I'm going to be thinking out loud for this part. This part is not as well thought out of. How do you sort of, you do have to sort of assuage the ego a little bit. But I think, yeah, you know, I just don't think she can believe in it. I think if she has like a little bit of, you know, like self-awareness and like still is doing like a wink, nudging to the ladies every once in a while, but sort of like acquiescing every once in a while. Like, I think like she can go on to the podcast. I don't think she needs to go like, you know, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a real woman, there's not a lot. I don't think she needs to go full pick me, but I think like showing face and like being personable and amiable and saying, you know what, I really admire your work, I really admire the way that you talk to the American people, I really this, da. If she's really sort of complimentary and sort of like appreciative of the things that men do, because they're just screaming and crying to be loved and recognized, you know. They don't know how to ask for it properly, you know. It's sort of like when a baby, you know, it poops his pants, and this baby, are you really going to be mad at the baby for pooping his pants and not being able to change the diaper, you know what I mean? And just crying. Like, what else is the baby supposed to do? What else are these emotionally stunted individuals supposed to do other than make a podcast, whine and complain, you know what I mean? So to a certain extent, I understand it. So I think, like, if she just goes on there and she's like, you know, what did Drew Barrymore say? We need you to be mama of the country. You know, that's what they want a mom. They want a mom. There we go. They really want a mother. So she needs to come at the male population from the perspective of a mother, okay? Not this, you know, feminism, woman empowerment. If you don't like me, you can go back, because that's gonna turn a lot of people off really quickly. So it needs to be kind of delicate. But if she does take on this sort of maternal role, I mean, like, the trope is there, like the mammy stereotype, like it's all sort of this character that she can slot herself into, becoming mama of the country. I know it is not the best optics. I know it's taking us back. It's regressive. It's this, it's that. Listen, I'm trying to give the sociology majors things to write a paper about. You know? I'm trying to help a lot of people out. I'm trying to do a lot of things at once. And I think if she took on like a motherly, maternal sort of role here, you know, and sort of like looking at the country from the lens of like child development, like what can we do for the average American people to really get them to step out and do what it is, you know what I mean? Because you know if we steal out, you know, there's a whole lot of these concepts right from beneath the footing of these Republican people, you know, like, because even Obama had yes we can, like, we need to bring that back a little bit, like, empower the average American person to go to the polls, to tell their friends to go to the polls, to do organizing, to be working in the community. Like, what happened to that? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that also, I think, like, in my naive ways, yeah, do I want for politics to mean something? Do I want for there to be effective change? Like, do I want to be inspired? I think we all want to be inspired. I think we all want for better things to come out of the efforts and the works and the labors that we do. So, you know, having Miss Harris going out and doing all this, I would live a little bit. I admit to the people of America, I would live if she was sort of advocating for, community organizing. I'm talking work, going to the shelters, donating to the food banks, doing all this stuff, being out in their community, going into the schools. Please. Oh my God. We really need attention on a lot of these different schools. And I think she could lead by example with a lot of that stuff. And that should be what a lot of the campaign is. Let's see her rolling up her sleeves, getting her sleeves dirty, because that's another thing. Like, the liberal elite, they don't really get their sleeves dirty. They don't know. But let's have her going into these places. Let's have her at the farm. Let's have her, looking at the pigs. Let's have her sustainable farming practices. Yup. Sustainable farm. Let's get into it. Let's get her going into and working with the indigenous communities. I'm seeing it. And as all from a mother. All as a mother, all as a mother. That needs to be her image, because what was really like Hillary was like a girl boss, pantsuits, short hair, girl boss, basically a man, but she's a girl though. So, but that's not really a character. That's not really something that we can get behind. That's not really something we can, understand with and identify with and really understand in a narrative sense and okay, I've seen this before, but I think from the perspective of a mother. Now her running mate, I saw people saying Buttigieg or whatever, and then I'm gonna decide with the people of Twitter and say it needs to be a straight white man, and he needs to be really maybe he worked in the coal mines, maybe he could be very, very Christian, maybe even Catholic. I don't think we do a lot of Catholics, but very strong Christian values, Yeah, I saw some people saying veteran, that's right. And he needs to show face. He needs to be just as out there in public as Kamala. And they need to be a team, And then he needs to say, now listen, women, am I right? A little bit. Because maybe I'm being too distrustful. Maybe I don't have enough faith in the people of America to not be misogynistic and sexist. But I have zero faith at all. So there really needs to be an apparent air, an oppressive air over the whole campaign of misogyny. You know what I mean? The husbands need to be looking at this and looking at their wives and saying, why can't you be this kind of mother to my children? Because, and I don't even know if that's going to be able to happen, because it is such okay, a woman as the president, how much tiptoeing can you do around the fact that this is ultimately going to be the election of a woman into the office, into the role of president, I mean, we got her as the vice president, didn't we? So, I don't know, but this is so messy. We do not have the time to be doing all this, so I don't really know. But yeah, I think the straightest, whitest man you can get, Southern as well, from the South history. We need to be seeing his family's farm. I just love farms, y'all. I love a Southern farm. I wish I could just live there. That's really honestly the plan after graduation. I just want to be near my family. But yeah, do I have anything else? I think she can have Gen Z on lock, low key. We really sort of found ourselves enamored with her. I think she just cannot really be acknowledging the memes, because you acknowledge the meme, it's a little bit cringe. She can't be saying, we did a joke, coconut tree, she needs to let that rest. She can do, she can be if she gets, an interview, she can be ah, ha, ha, I love these young people, what they're doing, but not really leaning into it, She still needs to take herself seriously, but I don't think she should be, offended by the jokes or anything, and I don't think she would be. I don't think that's, a possibility. That's not really something you see happening from people who want to win favor. They're not really going, why are you giving me all this attention, Publicity, good publicity, all of it. that's really all of the strategies that I have. Like, I wish the woman luck, for sure. Yeah. I sort of talked. I don't know if that was as entertaining as it was meant to be, but I don't think I need to be entertaining right now. I might make another video right after this. I have so many I want to make. I want to make one about long legs that I just saw a few days ago. I want to make one about canceling historical figures, which will be a short one because, I mean, how are you gonna cancel someone they're literally dead? What does that mean? But we'll get into that because that really annoyed me. That'll be my first call out video. So I don't know. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can call me Games. I'll be back. Tell me what you're thinking about this election. Are you excited? Are you still anti-Kamala no matter what goes on, what happens? Are you really disappointed in my political takes? Let me know. Let a bitch know. Okay, bye.